How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the TNT Auto Parts YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a carpet install on this 1974 Plymouth Scamp. Follow along for some tips and tricks. Today we're going to be using Auto Custom Carpets, a manufacturer of the highest quality carpets on the market today. This carpet is molded and features a thick EVA backing called mass backing. This material is great for sound dampening and insulation. This carpet features pre-adhered jute insulation and a factory accurate heel pad. Before installing your carpet, make sure you have everything you need. Check TNTAutoparts.com for door sill plates, jute, maybe even sound deadening. Before beginning your installation, it's always important to make sure you have the right tools laying around for the job. Tools like a ratchet set, an impact, basic wrench set, hefty pair of scissors and razors, tape measure, screwdrivers, picks, and a good tip, baggies with a Sharpie. It's always important that you keep track of all the little screws that you take out of kick panels, trim panels, and all that. On this application, sound deadener was already applied, so we can go ahead and skip that step and get right to the carpet installation. All the trim, kick panels are out of the way, and the floor is nice and clean. Always make sure that you vacuumed and cleaned your floor prior to installing carpet. When you receive your carpet, make sure you unroll it, put it in a large open area. Sometimes, if you can, put it out in the sun, just so it can flatten out and you can see where all your molds are. After about a day of that, make sure you just lay it in the car and kind of feel out where all the molds are. Like, for example, the seat humps. This one has a 4-speed hump, so there's a big mold there. And just like the back of this carpet, where it hits the frame here, and the transmission hump. This carpet's going to need a little bit of trimming. Auto Custom Carpets always puts a couple extra inches of material on the sides and back and front of the carpets, just so they fit right on each application. As I stated, looks like on this one we're a little bit short here, by about an inch or two. So, look up here, probably going to trim just a little bit off the top, around the accelerator pedal there, and on that side just around the kick panel. When trimming your carpet, it's always important to measure and make sure you have a good pair of scissors. You don't want a jagged cut, and you don't want to cut too short. You can always cut a couple times. Don't take off too much the first time. It may take a couple attempts, but you will have to kind of measure and feel around where the carpet sits right. I've taken a couple inches off here. Carpet now sits flush. Accelerator pedal has plenty of room to move around there. A lot of this, slop in the carpet will work its way out over time, all the wrinkles and stuff. Once you got it in the heat, sunlight, this will all start to level out and pull a better form altogether. Once you've made your cuts and you've got the carpet sitting flush against the firewall and you like how everything's fitting, you can move on to the kick panels. I like to kind of trim the side of the carpet off just so I can kind of see where the seat holes and other holes that I got to poke are going to lie. So for this one, I just went ahead and right where the carpet folded over here, there was a big bubble not letting all this fit together. I folded it over and I went ahead and trimmed it right there, just so it would kind of sit a little bit better. Now that it's sitting like this and I can kind of manipulate it around, I went ahead and I'm kind of cutting away right where the kick panel is going to go. Here's the hole for that. It's never a bad idea to grab your kick panels, kind of figure out the shape, the area that you're going to be cutting with. What how much carpet you got to work with, you know, how much you got to keep, such and so on. So I think I've got my cut started right about here, right about there. So I can continue cutting to here, and it won't matter. This is all excess for the door sill plates, so I can deal with all that later. You can always get yourself a nice handy box cutter. Nice razors and box cutters will help you a lot during all this. Now that I've got that all trimmed up, I'll go ahead and install the kick panel. There we are. All right. After a little bit of trimming, I got my kick panel on. I did a little bit of trimming here where the door sill plate meets the carpet. Got that all tucked away. And I'm trying to figure out here where this hump is for the seat. You know, kind of manipulate it around. Figure out this valley here. So what you want to do then, you want to find your seat holes. One there, and one there. So once you got those located, take your pick tool here. You can come up through the floor. Once you find it, there we are. You know, just kind of stretch it around, make sure you got it poked through all the way. You can poke it a couple times and that'll help you kind of make that hole a little bit bigger in there. That should be just plenty enough to get the bolt through once you got your bench seat back in here. So there's your one. Good to go. The same process applies to the forward seat hole as well as all of the seat belt holes. Now that the seat holes are taken care of, we can worry about the floor mounted dimmer switch hole. Depending upon application, Auto Custom Carpets includes one of these dimmer switch grommets that you can go ahead and put in the carpet. So what I like to do is I like to pick the carpet up, set it right over where that dimmer switch sits. Let's see if I've got it made yet. Let's set it over. Grab your razor. Go ahead and just score it. Once you do that, get your hole there. You shouldn't need anything more than a simple X, so go ahead and pull that back. Make that hole just a touch bigger. You can go ahead and fiddle with putting the grommet in. Putting the grommet in is not easy, but once you can kind of fold it around and play with it a bit. It does take some work to get on there. Alrighty, after some convincing with that, I also got the kick panel on for for the most part, that should complete your carpet installation. Obviously, I have yet to install the door sill plates, but it's pretty straightforward after that. Make sure you get your holes done all the way. If the bolt's not going through all the way, just go ahead and run the pick tool through there a couple more times, and obviously don't forget about the back seat. And you are all set. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.